Watching TV has changed over time. Streaming has become the new norm. That's why Golden State Media Concepts television podcast dives headfirst to the world of cord cutting. Want to be on the loop of what's hot in Netflix? Or if it's not a preference, what about original shows in Hulu? We've got you covered. Join us as we fill in the blanks and talk about movies to stream and what show you should be binging. This is the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the GSMC TV show podcast brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network Group. I'm your host, Priscilla Welch. Welcome back to another week. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving this past week with food, family, and of course shopping from Black Friday. Or of course, we're probably going to wait till the next day for Cyber Monday. Please stay safe and healthy. It's getting ridiculous out there with the pandemic, so definitely stay safe. Now, we're transitioning from November to December, so I know, of course, a bunch of you probably already had your Christmas trees and Christmas decorations all up and your mistletoe. And if you haven't already, well, maybe it's around the time to do it because there's a lot of good deals going on out there right now. And usually that tends to happen where a lot of different people will put up their Christmas decorations and start getting their Christmas gifts and everything right after Thanksgiving and, of course, from Black Friday. So, however, now that we're entering a new month, there's a lot of new things that are coming up, and of course a lot of different things that will be coming up for the following year. So I would like all of you to stay tuned because later in the show I will reveal the upcoming Grammy nominations for 2021, which is actually supposed to premiere sometime in January. But I want to start off the show today with the fabulous new TV show called Painkiller, and it will be on the CW, and it's actually a spin-off of Black Lightning. Now, Black Lightning actually first aired January 16, 2018, and it is about, of course, a black superhero family, and the original hero, which is Black Lightning, he actually retired from the hero life and was just focusing on being a teacher and a principal. Until then, well, actually first he was a principal, and then he had to go back to being a teacher if you watch the show, and you can actually watch it on the CW and Netflix. So basically, we find out, of course, that his daughters also have superpowers, of course, except his wife. And one of the daughters are Thunder, and the other one is Lightning. Lightning is played by China Anne McClain, and she does a fabulous job on the show. I'm actually all caught up because this is one of my favorite shows to watch. And currently, they are trying to work on season 4 to come out soon, but they just announced a few days ago that they're actually going to have a Painkiller spinoff, which is going to be interesting because Painkiller went through a lot, and this was actually China Anne McClain's character's first love. And what happens is he ends up losing his legs on the show, and he kind of turned a little bit dark because of what he went through and everything. And so using green light, he actually did some type of crazy surgery under the guidance of Tobias Whale, and Tobias, of course, turned him kind of evil. And basically, ever since from there, his alias name was Painkiller. So, of course, he was just doing everything that Tobias wanted him to do until later on, he actually was caught from another secret organization that used him and turned him into a super soldier until finally he reconnected again back with China Anne McClain's family on the show. But now, Black Lightning, however, him becoming a hero again was pretty hard because it did a lot to his daughters, his wife, and put a strain on his career professionally and personally. So that you kind of see like what's it like to live in their town and what's it like to deal with how a lot of times we hear on the news, a lot of times, especially through our history, especially in America, where there are certain drugs that they will put out that will happen more often in minority groups. And it does a lot of damage to the community because a lot of these people who are minorities will then get hooked on these drugs And it also is another way to experiment on them. So we see that a lot in Black Lightning, because Black Lightning is not just about superpowers and superheroes. It actually dwells into what's it like to being black, what's it like being a superhero, what's it like just being black and on the street, and you're into the drug life or you're into the street life, and it's really something to focus on. So I really love that they're doing a spin-off for this, because we need more diversity, especially on the CW. So we had Supergirl, we had Flash, we had the Arrow, and we had many different people from all different types of backgrounds and all different types of countries that play these different superheroes and supervillains. But to have like just a one show where it was just like a all black family, that of course was the first for Black Lightning. And now that they have Painkiller, well, this is perfect. So basically, Black Lightning is also currently on season, like they're going to be on season 4 soon. And the program creator actually for Black Lightning was Salim Akil. And again, you can watch this on Netflix and the CW. So if you've watched the recent season as well, there was actually a way of showing you the difference between Khalil and Painkiller's mind and how it was kind of divided. And they kind of went into his mind on the previous season. This show will also show, like, again, a backdoor to what is going on. So that way they can also introduce other CW characters for further spin-offs and for further connections with other TV shows. Because the CW right now, the current shows that they have with like the Flash and the Black Lightning and everything, they recently also did 3 episodes, which are about 2 hours long or so, and it was Crisis on Infinite Earths. So that was interesting because it wasn't their first time also doing crossovers, but it was the first time Black Lightning was involved in one of the crossovers. And usually when they did crossovers, it was between like the Flash, the Arrow, and of course Supergirl. And now that they're incorporating, you know, Black Lightning, and then they also have DC's Legends of Tomorrow. So it's pretty cool to see all the different people that was in DC related comics, that they all came together. Even from the ones that they did for the DC movies, there was a few of them that, for example, for the Justice League movie, the man that plays the character Flash for the movies, he actually was also involved on Crisis on Infinite Earths. So that was interesting to watch. So definitely stay tuned, because I definitely think they're going to do more of those when they incorporate the DC movies that they have live action and the DC TV shows, and they do crossovers with them as well. But to get into Painkiller, it's all about him. So you can actually look this up on thedeadline.com. And of course, Painkiller is still going to be the same actor that will be playing him, and his name is Jordan Calloway. And again, this is a backdoor pilot for the CW. So I'm just going to read this article here for you guys. So Black Lightning is getting a spin-off, with the CW developing a backdoor pilot around the Painkiller character. Painkiller will star Jordan Calloway reprising his role as the character. The planted pilot spin-off will air as the 7th episode of Black Lightning's 4th season, which will premiere in February 2021. Black Lightning showrunner Salim Akil will write, exec produce, and he will also direct. It marks the first pilot based on a DC Comics character for this broadcast development season, and is the CW's latest planted pilot development. Last year, the network planted potential spin-offs for The Arrow and The 100. Calloway plays Khalil Payne, a man ridden with the guilt of his troubled past from his former life in Freeland City, where, as a super-enhanced killing machine known as Painkiller, he was both a member of Tobias Whale's gang and a weapon of Agent Odell and the shadowy ASA. After attempting to bury the darker, devastatingly lethal Painkiller part of his persona, Khalil has distanced himself away from everyone he knows and loves in a new city, and he is currently in Akashic Valley in order to find peace, but peace never comes easy for men with pasts like his. As his violent, destructive history crashes his idyllic new beginning, Khalil is thrusted back into action with a new mission: bring justice where he once gave out punishment. But to do that, he will first have to deal with and harness his darkest side. The Painkiller spinoff is from Warner Brothers Television. Berlanti Productions, which produces Black Lightning and all other DC series, is not involved. Painkiller, who first appeared in comics in 1995, is based on the characters created for DC by Tony Isabella with Eddie Newell. So that's all the information that they have right now for that. So of course, like you said in the article, we have to wait actually up until January to see the actual show. And again, like they said, it's a different dynamic between Black Lightning and of course between Painkiller. So it will be cool to watch. I'm excited for it. And if you were listening to the description that they were giving for the show, like I said, in the previous season of Black Lightning, one of the last few episodes, after they all fought together to kind of bring down the ASA finally, because the ASA has been working for so many years, and there was like a major twist in regards to what has been going on for so long in Freeland. And it connects Black Lightning and his family, of course, because it goes way, way back when they actually had a certain relative who was being experimented on from since day one, and this was all the way back in the war. So it was interesting because Painkiller specifically said to Black Lightning, like, yeah, you know, after everything he's been through, he still obviously feels a type of way towards Tobias Whale. He feels a type of way towards Agent Odell. So he doesn't really follow the same path that Black Lightning would have wanted him to follow. And of course, every superhero, supervillain, or anti-hero, or anti-villain, they all have to follow their own path, right? And he can't really follow the goody-goody two-shoes all the time because of what he is. He is Painkiller, but he's also Khalil. And both of them combined is something completely different. However, when they're separated, it's unbelievable. It's unbearable. It's either one takes control over the other. Think of it as the Hulk. Hulk versus Bruce Wayne, or Bruce Wayne versus the Hulk. But when they work together, like how we saw in Endgame, it's a completely different thing, right? So, and when we look at now Painkiller, he said something to the rest of the family and everything. And what we notice is he was like, I don't think I could be here anymore. I don't think I could be in Freeland anymore because there's nothing here for me. Nothing but past traumas. So he has to find a way, of course, to move on. And even so, like, if you watch the show, he actually did something terrible to his mom. I'm not going to reveal it, especially if you never watched the show before. But he literally has no one, and he literally has nobody. He could have stayed with the Black Lightning family, but he's trying to find his own way now as a young man, right? And of course, they're at that age when, like, they're getting ready for, like, college and stuff like that. But because of the position he's in, he's not thinking about things like that, right? As maybe, you know, China and McClane's character is probably thinking about. So him doing this, he decides to go to a different town and try to find his own way, which makes sense as to where the show was going to start. Like, how is he doing so far since he left Freeland? Is he trying to control himself, control his anger, control the Painkiller side to him whenever something happens? Or what would he do? Because he know he can save, like, the woman on the street, the damsel in distress that maybe is getting beaten or raped or something in an alleyway. You know, things like that, of that nature, like how it always is in a typical hero type or movie type show. And what I like with Black Lightning, though, as we see, it's not one of those typical ones, right? There's always something else beyond that you literally need to watch, because it's some things that have many pop references and things that happen today, again, living as a minority in the U.S. And Freeland reminds us of those cities where there's a lot of black on black crime, there's a lot of police brutality, there's so many different things of gang violence. So him dealing with that as Painkiller by himself, I'm sure wherever he went now for the next city or the next town, he will be dealing with the same things. So I really can't wait for this, because this can also open up a lot of doors for other characters in the CW that can come on the show. So if you read the comics, there are potential other characters that he would probably come across and meet. I never actually heard of this city that he's actually supposed to be going to, but whatever city it is, who knows? There's probably another hero, another villain that's already involved in that city or calls himself like the Big Shot, right? So he might do a team up or something, or there might be like other assassins, because he is like a super soldier. So I cannot wait for this show, and it looks like obviously we will be able to watch it on Netflix and the CW as well, since Black Lightning was on those two streaming sites, and I can't think of it no other way. So again, next year, definitely wait for this. It is the Painkiller spinoff, and these are some characters, some potential characters that I have a theory about that he might end up meeting up with. Here's what's the interesting thing. So Khalil could actually, or even the rest of the Black Lightning family, if they ever continue the show, probably not, because they did say season 4 will probably be the last one. And China and McClane did say on an Instagram post that what she plans on doing after, of course, Black Lightning finally finishes. But other people that's also on their Earth, which is called New Earth, Of course, like I said, besides Tobias Whale, like they're all characters from there, and the entire Black Lightning family, Painkiller, and the rest of the characters that actually were on the TV show. We actually have Lucifer Morningstar, Bruce Wayne, we have Cassandra Cain, we have Coriand, who's also on New Earth, and we have Kal-El, and then we have a Con-El, He's actually that kind of version of Superman that was actually created by Lex Luthor, for example. So there's a few different people that he can actually run into. We also have Air, we also have AJ, we have Amortal, we have Amor, we have Alok, we have Arden. Oh my god, it's like a whole alphabetical list. So many different people that could be on here. So it really goes down the list. So you can actually go to, if you go to the New Earth characters, you can actually see from A to Z all the different people that he can possibly run into or can possibly be on the show. So I can't wait for that. It really is expanding the Arrowverse a little bit more as well. So anyway, stay tuned, because coming up after the break, I want to get into the recent Minions special episode that was trending over the past week and where you can watch it. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Want to know the latest and hottest music hitting the airwaves? Don't be left out. Listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Music Podcast. Keith keeps you on the loop with everything you need to know from pop, rock, hip-hop, and the top 40. And we'll throw in news of your favorite artists, concert and tour dates, and so much more. Listen no further, because this is the gold standard in music podcast.
Welcome back from the break, everyone. If you're now tuning in with us, we just finished discussing the brand new TV show Painkiller that's supposed to air next year, and it is actually a spin-off of Black Lightning. So if you're a big fan of the Black Lightning TV show, which you can watch on Netflix and the CW, then you're definitely going to want to watch Painkiller, especially if he is looking like that. So up next, thank you again so much for tuning in with us today. I want to get into our next announcement. We have the Minions special episode. So for those of you who may think this sounds familiar, the Minions is actually the same yellow creatures that work for the villain. And if you don't know the story, it's basically about a villain who ends up adopting 3 young daughters, which actually Miranda Cosgrove ends up playing the oldest one. And I believe it's Steve Carell that actually plays the father. But it's really, really funny. And when the movie first aired in theaters and for streaming apps and everything, it was such a huge hit when it came to the Minions. So of course they did 3 of them. And now we're doing a Minions special episode because, as I said earlier in the show, Christmas is around the corner, right guys? And then after that it's New Year's. And Thanksgiving, even though it just finished a few days ago, Christmas is literally the next big thing. Even when after Halloween is done, people usually skip right over to Christmas and start their decorations. They start putting up things around the tree. They start buying Christmas gifts. Some people even start buying Christmas gifts from way earlier in the year. It all depends on how you do things and what is your tradition. But we tend to skip our Thanksgiving as long as we still have maybe that leftover Thanksgiving food for about a week or week and a half. Well, that's about it, right? That's literally Thanksgiving and giving thanks for all your loved ones and everyone in your family, whatever job you have, whatever goals that you set for yourself that year, that is what you're giving thanks for. But I would like to let you all know, some of us out there, we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving because of the history behind it, as well as just dealing with people in general. Everyone has different circumstances and different situations. But in my opinion, I do not need one day out of the entire year to give thanks or to show I give thanks. I can do that throughout the year. But that's just my opinion. So moving on, the Minions special episode. The way I found out about this was actually just doing some research online, and I looked up an article of someone talking about it. So I'm just going to read a little bit about that to you guys. And again, this is also kind of based off of the yellow creatures. They are hilarious and cute. And they're just cute at even being scary and villainy. But not necessarily scary, but scary cute in a way. So now that Thanksgiving is over, and again, you can read this from the comicbook.com, and it's the Minions Holiday Special, okay? So now that Thanksgiving is out of the way, all eyes are on the holidays and the sudden influx of all things Christmas. So NBC is actually said they're not wasting any time at all in getting the mood set for the season. So they actually revealed the first, you heard it here first, folks, the first ever Minions Holiday Special tonight, November 27th. So this was actually on Friday night when they aired this. So those wanting to tune into Illumination Presents Minions Holiday Special need to turn on NBC beginning at 8:30 p.m. Eastern to watch. The half-hour special features 4 mini-movies, the network is calling them, and even has some crossovers from other beloved Illumination properties like The Secret Life of Pets and Sing. Illumination Presents Minions Holiday Special is a co-production between Illumination and Universal Pictures. The special is scheduled to last 1 half hour, wrapping up around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After the holiday special, the beloved henchman will next appear in Minions: The Rise of Gru. Originally set to release this July, Illumination delayed the feature due to the ongoing global pandemic. Now the movie is currently scheduled to hit theaters on July 2nd, 2021. So that's just some more information for you all as well for the next Minions movie. Then we have, in response to the severity of the situation in France, we are temporarily closing our Illumination Mac Gulf studio in Paris. Illumination founder and CEO Chris Meledandri said earlier this year, "With this decision, we are abiding by the French government's guidelines and doing everything possible to slow the spread of the virus as we care for our artists and their families. This means we will be unable to finish the Minions: The Rise of Gru in time of our planned global release in the late June and early July. While we all grapple with the enormity of this crisis, we just put the safety and protection of our employees above all. We look forward to finding a new release date for the return of Gru and the Minions." The Rise of Gru serves as the 5th feature released in the Despicable Me franchise, behind the first 3 films and the Minions spin-off. Despicable Me 4 is also in the works. Okay, so yep, that's just a little bit info about the Minions Holiday Special and how it did come out on November 27th. So I also just want to talk about the half-hour episode that was, if you have not watched it yet. So again, you can watch it on NBC, and here are some streaming apps that you can currently watch it on, of course, if you don't have the NBC network. So I'm leaving this up to you guys, the audience. So if you don't have the NBC network, like if you don't have cable or anything like that, there's also some other ways. Like if you use Kodi, for example, Kodi is a streaming service where it can be installed into your TV, but then you can also buy it as well to hook it up to your TV, like a Fire Stick or a Roku, and you can actually watch it using that as long as it has probably NBC or something connected to Hulu. So if you have a premium subscription with Hulu, you can actually watch the holiday special on there. So sometimes if you notice with Hulu, depending on a certain movie or TV show, they won't let you watch it like live, or they won't let you watch it unless you pay the extra money to watch it because it's connected through another network like NBC or HBO. So I would advise, definitely, if you want to watch it with your family or your kids and everything like that, you have not seen it yet. And again, if you have no access to get into the NBC network, then definitely do it with Hulu, and you should be able to stream it. Yes. And a little bit about, if you haven't heard of the other 2 movies that it's doing its crossovers with, is The Secret Life of Pets. So as you may know, for example, Kevin Hart, he actually was in that movie. He played like the little white bunny who's like hilarious and like eats carrots. And The Secret Life of Pets is basically what happens when your pets are home alone and the owners go out for work, or they go out to do their appointments, or just whatever adult people who own pets do, and their kids. And the pets, they end up interacting with each other. So like there's a specific dog and a specific cat that actually are kind of neighbors to each other. And then you also get to see like some stray animals as well that they probably are friends with anyway. And I think they did like about 2 of those movies. But then a few years back, and out of Illumination, like all their films that they've done, I think my favorite is Sing. So Sing actually came out a few years back, and it was just like, again, something about animals. And all these animals, they all were getting ready and geared up for a talent show. And a lot of celebrity stars, of course, were the voice actors behind this film. And in doing this film, we got to see like a lot of like songs that premiered in the movie, and a lot of people that even now, if they do like a talent show or if they perform, they actually sing those songs. So it was pretty cool to see that. Like the one character who was a elephant, for example, sang this beautiful song that kind of made everybody cry because she was always shy to sing in the first place. So it was cool to see like the dancing, and they did all of this to actually save a particular theater. So think of it as like the Apollo Theater, and they all did it to save the theater, and they put on a beautiful show. But even though the theater still came down in the film, I believe they still were able to use like the area where the theater was, like an outdoor arena. And it was still an amazing job. Everybody loved it. Everyone that came to go see their show that the animals had put on together. So, for example, I believe like Tori Kelly, she played the elephant who was Mina. Then we had Scarlett Johansson as Ash. We had Taron Egerton as Johnny. We had Seth MacFarlane as Mike. We have Reese Witherspoon as Rosita. We had Matthew McConaughey. He was Buster Moon. It was a really good movie. I really loved this movie a lot. We also had Garth Jennings as Miss Crawley, and we had John C. Reilly as Eddie, and we had Jennifer Hudson as Miss Nana Noodle, and we had Nick Offerman as Norman, and Jennifer Saunders was also Miss Nana Noodle as well. So you can actually watch Sing and the Secret Life of Pets on this streaming site, and it is called, so you can actually watch Sing on YouTube, Google Play Movies and TV, Vudu, Amazon Prime Video, and iTunes. Unfortunately, you can't really watch it anywhere for free right now to stream it. Amazon Prime has it for $3.99, Vudu has it for $3.99, Google Play and YouTube the same prices. And they might be putting it on Netflix soon, but we'll see about that. And as for Secret Life of Pets, you can actually watch this on the same sites as Sing. So again, you can watch it on YouTube, Google Play Movies and TV, Vudu, Amazon Prime, and iTunes. And unfortunately, you have to pay $3.99 if you're watching it any other place than iTunes. So I'm sorry about that, folks, but yes. And of course, if you want to do the fashion way, if you ever go to Walmart or any place that has like the red box, you can probably rent the movies. Because Secret Life of Pets actually has 1 and 2, and then Sing only has 1. They never did a sequel for Sing, although they should, because that was really, really good. And in my opinion, I feel like it's a far way better movie than Trolls, but that's just my opinion when it comes to like singing in certain musical numbers. But anyway, so definitely go ahead and enjoy the Minions special episode. Again, you can watch it on Hulu as long as you have that premium subscription, okay? So coming up after the break, I want to get into this next TV show. It literally, in my opinion, changed my life, and I feel like it changes the lives of those who are also dealing with mental health issues or anyone that is transgender. Euphoria is a very explicit, hardcore type of show that really wakes you up and literally tells you like what exactly is going on with kids today or young adults. So don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about the Euphoria Christmas episode. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back from the break, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in. Again, this is the GSMC Television Podcast with your host, Priscilla Welch. And thank you so much. We're now halfway through the show. And like I stated before, if you stay tuned, because later on the show, I will be talking about the Grammys nominations for 2021, which is supposed to come out in January. So we just recently discussed before the break the Minions Holiday Special and where you can go to watch it. Again, the best bet is probably trying to watch it on NBC Network if you still have that channel, if you still use cable, as well as pulling it from Hulu as long as you have a premium subscription, okay? So now I want to get into the Euphoria Christmas episode, and before you think of anything, this is not season 2 yet. Season 2 is still in the works because of the pandemic, but however, they did some footage before everything in the world went crazy, and they were able to kind of, I guess, show us what happens in the first season at the end, where Rue basically overdoses, and everyone thinks that Rue could be possibly dead if you've watched the show. And there was this whole number that she did, and the song is called All For Us, and she had like a whole choir with her and everything, and we all knew that she overdosed because the song and the way the music was going and her getting up out of bed and everything, and the way she got up, it was kind of like what her spirit was basically doing because of how high she was. And this was because her heart got broken by her lover, who is the transgender character on the show, who actually inspired like a lot of different people across the world who watched the show on HBO. So as for it was actually talked about for a good few months now. However, Zendaya recently just put up a poster to kind of tease that it's coming out next month in December. So I know all you fans, and for those of you like me, we cannot wait for this to come out. And again, you can watch this on HBO, because HBO is known for having very explicit content, and maybe content that a lot of parents probably don't agree with. But guys, this is 2020. I mean, there's no point in sugarcoating things anymore, but hey. So this is again what happens after Rue overdoses in her bed at the end of season 1. So I would advise to not watch this holiday special until you've seen all of season 1. Okay? Again, nothing to do with season 2. Let me make that very, very clear. But from Collider.com, we're just over a week away from the first of 2 Euphoria special episodes meant to bridge the gap between season 1 and season 2 of the Emmy-winning HBO series starring Zendaya as recovering teenage drug addict Rue Bennett. While we already know some details about the first episode titled Trouble Don't Last Always and centering around Christmas, we finally have a look at the first poster, which Zendaya dropped on her Twitter account earlier this afternoon. And this post I'm reading from is actually from the 25th, so it was about a day before Thanksgiving. And she put it up and said part 1, Rue, and they made sure on the poster that she was laying down the bed, literally in the same hoodie. Her hair is the same as the ending of season 1, and they said it's streaming December 6th, and you can also watch it on HBO Max. Again, this is not season 2. The poster is slightly out of focus shot of Zendaya as Rue with the emphatic tagline, "This is not season 2," centered near the bottom in stark lettering. What's really interesting about the poster is that it appears to reveal a new title for the episode. According to the poster, Trouble Don't Last Always now seems to be titled simply Part 1 Rue. Luckily, it's still retaining its December 6th premiere date, so even though there has apparently been a title change-up, fans won't have to wait any longer to see it. Here's the official plot synopsis, so obviously featuring what may be an outdated title. So, in the aftermath of being left by Jules at the train station and relapsing, the first special episode follows Rue as she celebrates Christmas. Written and directed by series creator Sam Levinson, the episode titled Trouble Don't Last Always also stars Coleman Domingo, who appeared in season 1. Details on the second special episode, including its premiere date, will be revealed in the near future. As we all know, like I said, it's December 6th. You can check out the full poster below, and again, this is on Collider.com. So for more Euphoria, of course, you can read their interview as well that they did with Sydney Sweeney, another character that is on the TV show. Okay, so yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Again, it's December 6th that it should be airing out. So we're only about like week and a half away from that. So I'm really, really excited. again, this is a fabulous show, and I really can't see what happens, because I know it was like a lot of rumors and it hadn't been confirmed that everyone thought that maybe Rue killed herself. But in my opinion, I felt like I was one of those fans that didn't agree, because the show, she's literally one of the main characters, and she is actually, but they have a way of also incorporating a lot of the other cast members, so everyone has a story to tell, and they always do it from their perspective. So it's kind of hard to figure out whether it's all just focused on Rue, because it's focused on Jules, because I'm sure we're going to want to know too what happened to Jules when she hopped on that train and where she went, because Jules seems to get into a lot of trouble herself. And the other characters that are also in high school, like, they're going through their shit as well. So let's see how that goes. And this is just another article I'm reading on the date, and it's from Variety.com. So they said that Euphoria fans will have to wait well into next year for season 2, but in the meantime, HBO has officially confirmed 2 special episodes of the popular teen drama. So just so you know too, the special episode 2, we actually haven't had word of that yet, but at least we know that the special episode for the first part is on December 6th. The first is set to air Sunday, December 6th on the premium cabler before heading to stream on HBO Max. Both episodes were produced under COVID-19 guidelines, according to sources. So titled Trouble Don't Last Always, the first episode will find Rue in the aftermath of being left by Jules at the train station and relapsing. The episode, written and helmed by series creator Sam Levinson, follows Rue as she celebrates Christmas. HBO will reveal this title, plot, and date for the second episode at a later date. News of the special comes almost exactly a month after Zendaya wowed the TV world with her stunning Emmys win. She will be joined in the first special by Colman Domingo, reprising his role as recovering addict Ali from season 1. Zendaya confirmed the news via social media, tweeting, "We really miss them. 2 special Euphoria episodes coming soon." And then alongside Levinson, Euphoria is executive produced by Ravi Nandan, Kevin Turin, Drake, Future the Prince, Hadis Moses Lichtenstein, Ron Leshem, Daphne Levin, Tamara Yardeni, Merit Tuvi, Yoram Makati, and Gary Lennon. Will Greenfield serves as a co-executive producer. The show is produced in partnership with A24 and based on the Israeli series of the same name, which was created by Lon Leshem and Daphne Levin from Hot. It was nominated for 6 Emmys total, carrying home 3 statuettes during the virtual ceremony back in September. Other than Zendaya's performance, Euphoria also won for contemporary makeup and original music and lyrics. All right. And yeah, like, their makeup, oh my god, was amazing for just literally all the characters. Ever since that show came out with all the different episodes of all the different females in their makeups and everything, where they did their eyeliner, the way they did their lashes and their eyeshadow, especially the eyeshadow was a big one. It was a lot of emphasis on that. Like, they could be wearing something very simple and elegant, especially when they had a Halloween episode, but their eyes is the one that really like popped out when it came to their makeup. So I thought that was cool, because I even did some Euphoria makeup for a recent event that I had before the pandemic, and you know, I was like, I want that Euphoria look. So that became a huge thing, because the makeup creator, I actually do follow her on Instagram, and she does the makeup for all the artists on set. And she actually was doing the makeup herself before, you know, the show even aired. That's how she does her makeup. And a lot of people don't know that unless they do their research of who the makeup artist is, the costume artist behind the scenes of that. So that was pretty cool how she incorporated her own thing, and it became such a big trend. And for the music, oh my gosh, like, again, the one song called All For Us, it's a very dramatic, emotional song, and a lot of their music, it ties so well into each character's story. It can be very, very depressing, but then it can also be pretty, like, heartbreaking and romantic as well. And again, this is a very graphic and explicit type of show. Like, they do not sugarcoat anything at all. So I think it's interesting with how the music could tie in with that as well, and it goes along with the theme of the show, even for each episode, whether it was something that Rue was in an argument with her friend / drug dealer, or Rue was the way she feels about Jules, or maybe a domestic violence relationship between 2 of the other characters of the show, or maybe one of the characters, like the Sydney Sweeney character, she finding out that she was pregnant. Like, there's so many different things that happen on each of them lives, and it's just like, it's on next level. It's not like something basic where it's like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't pass this exam. No, they're dealing with like real life problems, and I love seeing that side of students. It's not always goody good and all the time, like, I get to travel with my family, I get to have a home cooked meal, or everything's good, like I have both parents in my lives. A lot of us don't have those situations like that, and I feel like Euphoria really brought that to the table, because it literally said, hey, what about these people? What about these minorities? What about these that are struggling with this and struggling with that? And it's a wake-up call. And people don't like to watch it on live TV because they don't like to think of society that way. And it's really like, you have to wake up, though. You sometimes don't have money for your next meal. You sometimes have to do what you have to do in order to feed people that you care about or love. And then sometimes your mental health issues get so bad that you literally just want to lay in bed all day and not go anywhere. You don't want to eat. You don't want to do anything. But then you maybe will just lay there and watch like your favorite show, your favorite movie. And that's kind of like the one episode that Rue went through, where she was watching her favorite TV show, but she knew she had to pee so bad that she didn't even want to pee. So she was holding it the entire time until finally she ended up getting a UTI because of it. So there's many situations like that as well. And for those of you who ever go through any of these experiences that I'm talking about, this is the perfect time for you to watch a show like this, honestly. So coming up after the break, again, you can watch this on HBO, HBO Max. Well, it's just called HBO Max now. We do not have the air date for the second special episode, but it probably is going to happen a little bit after the first one premieres on December 6th on Sunday. So stay tuned. Oh, can't wait. All right. So coming up next, we're going to close the show off with the Grammys nominations for 2021. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're on our last segment today. Again, thank you. We really appreciate it. And if you're now tuning in, we just finished discussing the Euphoria holiday special, or Christmas episodes, whatever you want to call it. It's basically has nothing to do with season 2, but it is a gap that will be filled between season 1 and season 2, and should start off from where it ended in season 1. And you can watch the first special episode December 6th on Sunday. So, coming up next, as I stated before, we're going to be talking about the Grammys nominations for 2021. Yes, it is finally coming up to a new year. Of course, after Christmas is done, we will finally be able to celebrate all our different people that we listen to with music. So all our different celebrities in musical theater and all the different genres of music and audio production. This is what the Grammys is about. And I would like to compare it as well to who won the Grammys last year, because this year we all know, of course, even though regardless of the pandemic, music definitely had kept us going for this year. So those nominations will be, I feel, definitely beneficial for them, because they feel like they still did something. And, you know, pandemic or not, they still are out there in the studio making their music, even if it's from home, whatever, wherever it may be. So I can't wait to discuss that with you guys. So let's get into it. So first of all, this is actually the 63rd Grammys Awards. Yes, that's how long it's been going for now. And again, the air date is actually Sunday, January 31st, 2021, and it's actually going to air on CBS. But the nominations are already here, okay? Now, I would like to start off with, of course, the musical group called Chloe and Halle. Chloe and Halle are also twin sisters that were founded by Beyonce, and they're under her label. And they also are on the TV show called Grownish, which you can watch on Freeform. And Chloe and Halle actually were already nominated for 3 nominations, so that's amazing. And so we have actually 83 different categories of all the full nominees listed below. And there are like different links that you can look up on the www.grammy.com. And that's kind of where I'm getting it from. So this was actually released on November 24th at 9:45 a.m. And these are the different fields. So we have general field, we have pop, we have dance / electronic music, we have contemporary instrumental music, we have rock, we have R&B, we have alternative, we have rap, we have country, we have new age, we have jazz, we have gospel and contemporary Christian music, we have Latin, we have American roots music, we have global music, reggae, children's, spoken word, comedy, musical theater, music for visual media, composing / arranging, notes, package, historical, production, non-classical, production, immersive audio, production, classical, music video, and film. So the record of the year for the general field, okay, this is where the award goes to the artists and like the producers and the engineers and the mixers and the mastering engineer, if other than the artists. So right now we have nominated for record of the year for Beyonce, Black Parade. And this is, besides Beyonce, we have Derek Dixie. And for the producers, we have Stuart White. The engineer and mixer is Colin Leonard, and he's also the mastering engineer. We also have Colors by Black Pumas. We have Rockstar by DaBaby featuring Roddy Ricch. We have Say So by Doja Cat. We have Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish. We have Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. Circles by Post Malone. And Savage by Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce. So, yes, this is going to be an interesting one. Beyonce, of course, is on 2 of these, so I really hope she wins, because Black Parade was my song this year, and even Savage, so let's see how it goes. Album of the year is awarded again to the artist, the featured artist, the songwriter, the producer, the engineer, the mixer, the mastering engineer as well, and the engineer's credited with at least 33% of playing time of the album if other than the artist. And we have Chilombo by Jhené Aiko, we have Black Pumas, the deluxe edition, we have Everyday Life by Coldplay. We have DJSA Volume 3. We have Women in Music Part 3 by Haim. We have Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. We have Hollywood's Bleeding, Post Malone. And we have Folklore by Taylor Swift. Very interesting. I don't see Beyonce up here, people. What's going on? All right, for Song of the Year. This is for an award for the songwriters. And the song is also eligible for what was first released if it achieved any like promising things during the eligible year, obviously, of the previous year before that. And that's why they're getting awarded for the following year. Again, we have Black Parade, yes, for Song of the Year. We have The Box. That's by Samuel Glode and Roderick Moore. And the songwriters also was Roddy Ricch. We have Cardigan. That's Aaron Dessner and Taylor Swift. Circles, Louis Bell, Adam Feeney. Don't Start Now, that's the song for Dua Lipa. We have Everything I Wanted, Billie Eilish, I Can't Breathe. This is the song that actually her worked on, and this actually came out because of everything going on with the BLM and with the pandemic, and what's it like basically for a minority who was basically being like hunted down throughout the different issues that was going on through 2020. And yes, so let's not get too much into it. It's very depressing. So If the World Was Ending by Julia Michaels and JP Sachs. And then we have Best New Artist. So this is, of course, the recent artists who were eligible in the previous year and they had a breakthrough in the public eye. We have Ingrid Andress, we have Phoebe Bridgers, we have Chica, we have Noah Cyrus, D Smoke, Doja Cat, K-Tranda, and Megan Thee Stallion. In my opinion, Best New Artist, I feel like Megan is not really new anymore. So even with Billie Eilish, like Billie Eilish is not even in this list. I feel like Noah Cyrus should get this win because she has a lot of deep meaning songs that really also kind of uplift you and helps you to understand where she's coming from in her music. I feel like she should actually win this one because of the fact that I don't think she's really won any awards. And if you don't know who Noah Cyrus is, this is Miley Cyrus's, aka Hannah Montana's younger sister. And it's amazing because recently I saw a video of both of them and they both sang together. Oh my gosh, the way they harmonize is like beautiful angels. It's amazing. It's amazing how both of them are so talented as well. In my opinion, more talented than their father, but that's just me. All right, then we have for pop, best pop solo performance. This is a big category because there's a lot of people that try to make it in pop music. Not a lot of people can make it in rap or hip hop, so this is very interesting. So we have, of course, the best solo performances. So for like anything with the vocals or the instruments, and this is only for like singles or tracks only, okay? So we have, of course, Yummy with Justin Bieber. We have Say So with Doja Cat. We have Everything I Wanted, Billie Eilish. Don't Start Now, Dua Lipa. Watermelon Sugar, Harry Styles. And Cardigan, Taylor Swift. In my opinion, I think either Justin Bieber will get it, Billie Eilish, definitely Doja Cat. Doja Cat actually might be number one to get that because she's actually one of those. She's kind of new. And then Dua Lipa. I haven't actually heard the song Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. Maybe I did and didn't realize. And Taylor Swift, you have enough wins. Then we have Best Pop Duo / Group Performance. So it's interesting because I'm looking at this list now and I do not see Chloe and Halle on here, and they are a duo group, but we'll get to them later. Maybe they're more R&B than pop. So for a new vocal or instrumental duo group, and this is also for collaborative pop recordings, and this is only, again, for singles or tracks only. And this is One Day by J Balvin, Dua Lipa, and Bad Bunny and Taney. Intentions, Justin Bieber featuring Quavo. Dynamite, BTS. They might win this. BTS, I know a lot of people that are big fans of them. They actually might win that. That's actually a good song. We have Rain on Me, Lady Gaga with Ariana Grande. That might win too. That was actually groundbreaking this year. And we have Exile, Taylor Swift featuring Bon Iver. Interesting. So up next we have Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album. And that is for albums containing at least 51% playing time of new traditional pop recordings. So we have Blue Umbrella by Burt Bacharach and Daniel Tashian. Then we have True Love, a celebration of Cole Porter, and that was by Harry Connick Jr. We have American Standard, James Taylor, Unfollow the Rules, Rufus Wainwright, and Judy Renee Zellweger. Okay, again, that was for Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album. And they have to contain at least 51% playing time of new traditional pop recordings. Up next, we have Best Pop Vocal Album. Right now, we have Changes, Justin Bieber. Chromatica, Lady Gaga. Future Nostalgia, Dua Lipa. Fine Line, Harry Styles. And Folklore, Taylor Swift. All right, so now we're moving into the dance and electronic music category. For Best Dance Recording, so this is for solo, duo, group, or collaborative performances, and they have to, again, be singles or tracks. So we have On My Mind, Diplo and Side Please. We have My High, Disclosure featuring Eminem and Slow Tie. We have The Difference, Flume featuring Toro Yumoy. We have Both of Us, Jada G. 10%, K-Tronda featuring Kali Uchis. Okay. So that's what we have for the Best Dance Recording. For Best Dance and Electronic Film, we have Kick Eye by Arca, Planets Mad by Bar. We have Energy Disclosure, Bubba, K-Tronda, and we have Good Faith, Madion. For contemporary instrumental music, okay, this is for albums containing approximately 51% of more playing time of instrumental material. For albums containing at least 51% playing time of new recordings, we have Axiom by Christian Scott Atunde Adujua. We have Chronology of a Dream live at the Village Vanguard. That's John Batiste. We have Take the Stairs by Black Violin. Americana, Gregoire Muret and Romain Collin and Bill Frisell. And we have Live at the Royal Albert Hall by Snarky Puppy. For rock. Woo! Let's rock on, y'all. We have best rock performances. Okay, this is for new or vocal or instrumental, solo, duo, group, or collaborative rock recordings. We have Shamika, Fiona Apple. We have Not, Big Thief. We have Kyoto, Phoebe Bridgers, The Steps, Haim. We have Stay High, Brittany Howard, Daylight, Grace Potter. For best metal performances, we have Bum Rush, Body Count, Underneath, Code Orange, The In-Between, In This Moment, Blood Money, Poppy, and Executioner's Attacks, Swing of the Axe, Live by Power Trip. The best rock song, we have Kyoto, we have Lost in Yesterday, we have Not, we have Shamika, and we have Stay High. Best rock album, we have A Hero's Death by Fontaines DC. I can't really pronounce this one, but it's Kiwanuka by Michael Kiwanuka. We have Daylight by Grace Potter, Sound and Fury, Sturgill Simpson, The New Abnormal, The Strokes. For alternative, I actually like this category. I like anything that's sometimes indie alternative. And if it's rock music, it will have to be this type. So for this, it has to be vocal or instrumental. We have Fetch the Bolt Cutters by Fiona Apple. We have Hyperspace, Beck. We have Punisher, Phoebe Bridgers, Jamie, Brittany Howard, The Slow Rush, Tame Impala. All right, now we're getting into R&B. Let's get it. So again, vocal or instrumental. This says Lightning and Thunder by Jhené Aiko and featuring John Legend, Black Parade, Beyonce, All I Need, Jacob Collier featuring Mahalia and Ty Dolla $ign. Then we have Goat Head by Brittany Howard and See Me, Emily King. I feel like either Lightning and Thunder or Black Parade might win, but out of all these, I think Beyonce might win that one. Then for best traditional R&B performances, we have Sit On Down, Baylor Project, Wonder What She Thinks of Me, Chloe and Halle, woo, my girls, Let Me Go, Michael Kilgore, and Anything For You, Lettucey, and Distance by Yeba. Best R&B song, we have Better Than I Imagine, Robert Glasper, and many others. Black Parade, okay, we all know what that is by now. We have Collide, Sam Barsh, Stacey Barth, Asone Elise, Olu Fan. For Do It, we have Chloe Halle, and then Slow Down. And for Best Progressive R&B Album, so 51% again playing time of newly recorded progressive vocal tracks derivative of R&B. We have Chilombo, Jhené Aiko, Ungodly Hour, Chloe and Halle, Free Nationals. We have FUCK, Your Feelings, Robert Glasper, and It Is What It Is, Thundercat. For me, I feel like Chloe and Halle might win that best progressive R&B album. We'll see, though. Best R&B album, we have Happy to Be Here, Ant Clemens, Take Time, Giveon, To Feel Loved, Luke James. Oh my God, he still sings? Wow. Then we have Bigger Love, John Legend, and All Rise, Gregory Porter. And that was best R&B album. For rap, okay, we're transitioning now. So best rap performances. This is only again singles and tracks. I think majority are for under the categories. We have Deep Reverence. We have Bop, Da Baby. Deep Reverence is Big Sean featuring Nipsey Hussle. They might give that to him because of Nipsey dying. Unfortunately, that's what happens. Which is also a good thing because he deserves that a lot. He really does. We have What's Poppin', Jack Harlow, The Bigger Picture, Little Baby, Savage, Megan Thee Stallion, and Dior, Pop Smoke. They might even give it to him too because he also passed away and he also deserves it as well. We have Best Melodic Rap Performance, Rockstar, DaBaby, Laugh Now, Cry Later, Drake featuring Lil Durk, Lockdown, Anderson, Pac. Then we have The Box, Roddy Ricch, and Highest in the Room, Travis Scott. That's a hard one. Okay. Best Rap Song, we have The Bigger Picture, The Box, Laugh Now, Cry Later, Rockstar, and Savage. Best Rap Album, we have Black Habits, D Smoke, Alfredo, Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist, A Written Testimony, J Electronica, King's Disease, Nas, The Allegory, Royce da 5'9". And then, of course, we have, nominations for country album. New Age is an interesting one. I really never heard of that category before. We also have jazz. We also have gospel. And again, that's gospel and contemporary Christian music. And the list goes on and on and on. We have Latin, of course. Bad Bunny might win that for sure. Then we have American Roots music. It's a really, really long list, y'all. We have reggae. For reggae, let's read it here. So, For Best Reggae Album, it's Upside Down 2020 by Buju Banton. Then we have Higher Place, Skip Marley, Bob Marley's son. It All Comes Back to Love, Maxi Priest, Got to Be Touched, Toots and the Maytals, and One World, the Wailers. And we have Global Music up next. Then we have Children's. Then we have Spoken Word. Spoken Word is also a different type of category I actually never heard of. It's for Best Spoken Word Album. It includes poetry, audiobooks, and storytelling. Ooh, that would be interesting. We have obviously comedy. So for Black Mitzvah, we have Tiffany Haddish. I Love Everything by Patton Oswalt. The Pale Taurus, Jim Gaffigan. And Paper Tiger, Bill Burr. And 23 Hours to Kill, Jerry Seinfeld. Then we have musical theater. For musical theater right now, they have Soft Power, The Prince of Egypt, Little Shop of Horrors, Jagged Little Pill, American Utopia on Broadway, and Amelie. And then we have music for visual media. They have Frozen 2 as one of the nominations. We have Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, Bill and Ted Face the Music, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and Jojo Rabbit. And the best score soundtrack for visual media. I actually like this category a lot because I love film. We have Ad Astra for Max Richter composer, Becoming, Kamasi Washington, another composer. For the movie Joker, we have Hildur. And for 1917, Thomas Newman, and Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, we have John Williams. And that goes on into best song written by for visual media. Then we have composing and arranging. We also have package, notes. Notes is an interesting one. It says best album notes. That's also a category. We have historical. We have production, non-classical. Yes. So if you want to find out more nominations, again, you can look this up on www.grammy.com/thegrammys. And so for those who actually won last year that might win again this year, this is just my little theory. So we actually have, so for last year, Billie Eilish won Bad Guy for the record of the year. For album of the year was won by When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Again, Billie Eilish. For song of the year was again Bad Guy, Billie Eilish. I remember last year she won like crazy and was so surprised because she had just turned 18, I believe. We have Best New Artist, Billie Eilish. Best Pop Solo Performance, Truth Hurts, Lizzo. We had Best Pop Duo and Group Performance. That was Old Town Road, Lil Nas featuring Billy Ray Cyrus. For Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album, we had Look Now, Elvis Costello, and the Imposters. Then we had Best Pop Vocal Album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Again, Billie Eilish. Best Dance Recording, Got to Keep On, The Chemical Brothers. They were the winners. For Best Dancing Electronic Album, No Geography, The Chemical Brothers. I noticed that group actually in particular did not have any nominations at all for this year, so that's interesting, a different twist. For Contemporary Instrumental Album, we had Metavolution by Rodrigo Gabriela. And then for Best Rap Performance, we had This Land by Gary Clark Jr. And on and on and on. For Alternative, we had Father of the Bride, Vampire Weekend. For Best R&B Performance, we had Come Home, Anderson.Paak featuring Andre 3000. And for Best Traditional R&B Performance, it was Jerome by Lizzo. Then we had for Best R&B Song was Say So, PJ Morton. He was the songwriter. And, it wasn't. Yeah, so basically for Best Urban Contemporary, moving on, is actually Cause I Love You by Lizzo. Yeah, Lizzo and Billie Eilish really did it big last year, now that I'm kind of doing my memory here. Best Rap Performance is Racks in the Middle by Nipsey Hussle featuring Roddy Ricch and Hit Boy. And Best Rap/Sung Performance was actually Higher, the song that DJ Khaled featuring Nipsey Hussle and John Legend did. For the Best Rap Album, it was Igor, Tyler the Creator. And Ride Me Back Home was Willie Nelson, Best Country Solo Performance. So if you want to just compare like the winners from 2020 to 2021, then you can find that on the 2020 GrammyAwards.com. So, yeah. So, I'm not sure about the nominations for 2021, but it seems like it's going to be a mix of maybe Beyonce probably hopefully winning, then Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat. I didn't see The Weeknd for some reason. I'm thinking he had like a lot of good wins though the previous year. Maybe that's why. And of course, we have various other artists that are going to win. So that's just the 2021 Grammy nominations that I just wanted to give down a list to y'all where you could go and find it. And of course, you can watch the Grammys on, most likely be on CBS television and network. And again, it's Sunday, January 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the other time would be 5 p.m. for the other side. So usually a lot of these award shows also have like red carpet, reveals. So they might do a red carpet from like 6 to 8, or probably not. They might just run it straight into the show at 8 o'clock. So yes, that's the Grammy Award nominations for 2021. Again, you can look this up on Grammys.com if you want to somehow relate the 2020 of who won to see maybe if there's a pattern of who's going to win again for 2021. And there's like a few categories this year that's very interesting, like the one about the Notes album, then a different category for anyone that does like audiobooks and storytelling. I'm glad that they're incorporating that. I've never seen that before. So I hope we get to see who wins that as well. So I'm excited. So again, enjoy the rest of y'all week, everyone. Again, coming up, we have another episode coming out for the next week. Again, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and a great Black Friday. Thank you for listening to the GSMC television podcast brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I would like to ask that you please remember to subscribe to the show and write a nice review. That really helps us. Also, if you can, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you and have a good night.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts television podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts podcast network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts podcast network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.